Hey, John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. And I've got, as you can see, I've got a new setup. I have gotten rid of one of my monitors. I decided that I only need one 4K monitor. So, and I've also gone all laptop now. I've gotten rid of the desktop. But yeah. So enough about that. Let's talk about some questions. Let's answer some questions here. So I got this question on being a specialist. I think a lot of people sometimes, this is probably the most confusing topic I talk about, right? Because a lot of people either disagree or they don't understand what the advice I'm giving is, or like this email I'm about to read you, they think that I'm doing some kind of contradiction. So let me read the email and we'll talk about it a little bit here. So it says, hey John, I subscribe to your blog email lessons and I'm enjoying them very much. Thanks for developing such interesting material. However, I have a question for you. You suggest being a specialist, but honestly, if I think of you, you don't seem to be a specialist to me. For example, you built a ton of different Pluralsight courses on very different subjects. Moreover, besides being a software developer, my understanding is that you're also in the real estate business. So you seem to have a wide variety of skills. So are you not applying yourself to your advice of being a specialist, or what am I missing here? Thanks. So Giovanni asked this question, and this is a good question, right? So, you know, I always give this advice, right? I always say you need to specialize and have a niche and make sure that you have it very narrowly focused. But then when you look at what I'm doing, you say, well, John's doing all these kind of Pluralsight videos. His website has a wide variety of topics. He's doing podcasts and real estate investment and all these different things. So what's the deal? Is he not following his own advice? And like I said, that's a valid question. But here's the thing. So when you're first starting out, it's really important to be the big fish in the small pond. I talk about this a lot. And so what you want to do is you want to pick a very narrow specialty. What that does is it gives you a small pond. So you can become the expert in something if you pick something very, very narrow. Now, when you do that, what that allows you to do is to get traction much faster. If you want to just, be a software developer, or pick something large, like I'm going to just be really good at Java, that's too big, right? So it's going to take you a long, long time to get traction there. But if you pick something very, very specific, like a very specific framework in Java, or a very specific way that you're doing things, a very small niche where it's a small pond, there's a few people that are competing in that pond, or maybe no one, maybe you're the only person who's really billing yourself as an expert there. You'll build up a name and a reputation. And when you do that, then you have a couple of choices. You can find another small niche, and that's kind of parallel to that, and you can expand in that direction. Or you can basically, expand out wider and just do a more general, become a bigger sort of specialty. So that's sort of what I've done, right? So with Simple Programmer, with all the things that I've been doing, I've kind of started out building up a name for myself in more of a specialized area. And I didn't follow the same advice, you're right, when I started out, because I didn't realize how powerful it was to have a very specific niche. But as I've grown and I've built up a reputation and brand, I've been able to be more of a generalist. I've been able to expand in more areas. And so, again, just to cap it or to summarize it here, when you're first starting out, it is critical that you pick a small niche. So that's why I say specialization is so important. But as you build up a name and a reputation, you can then expand out. You can then be more broad. And you can see a lot of examples in this, or with this, with a lot of different celebrities that might have been known for one particular thing, and then they went into some other field or they did some other thing. How many different celebrities have their own lines of perfume or cologne, right? Or how many celebrities have then created clothing companies, right? Things that are totally even unrelated, but they use the power of their name to even breach into a completely different audience. So you can do that. It takes time, but definitely start small. I know it can seem like a contradiction when you hear me always saying specialize, but then you're like, well, John doesn't seem to specialize. And if you look a little deeper, I still do have a specialty. It's really the soft skills for software developers, life coaching for software developers. So it's pretty broad. Yes, it is broad, but I was able to build up to that point. If I had just launched my career and said I'm going to tackle all these different subjects, it would have been really difficult for me to get traction, because everyone would have said, well, who is this guy and why would we listen to him? But because I picked more smaller topics and then built up a reputation, I was able to do that. So thanks for the question. Great question. Appreciate you asking that. And like I said, if you have anything that you think that I'm not following my own advice, we're all full of contradictions, right? So I will contradict myself from time to time. Ask about it. Send me an email at john@simpleprogrammer.com. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe to the video if you want to see if I contradict myself sometime in the future. So subscribe to the channel. Talk to you later. Take care.